Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi. Our founder, Jack Roeser, and myself have Erin Raasch with us, talking about Common Core. Erin, is it going to cost them money? Is it going to save them money? Where is the benefit financially in Common Core?
Common Core really is a train just barreling down the track, and it's going to go off a cliff because, as I've talked about before, Common Core was brought into the state of Illinois attached to stimulus money. Remember the shovel-ready jobs that weren't shovel-ready, and I'm keeping teachers working. Well, that was all tied to Common Core. So what happens is that the stimulus money runs out in 2014, yet we, by the end of next year, need to have a computer in every school for every student so they can take the computerized PARCC test. That's the standardized test that transmits data to the federal government about every child. And that's required as part of Common Core. These are the costs of the tests are twice as much as the good old number 2 pencil tests, plus you have to purchase a computer.
Who's purchasing the computer? The students?
The taxpayers. The schools need to have Wi-Fi. They need to be set up
but
to have
most schools
hundreds.
Have Wi-Fi anyway?
No,
internet?
they don't.
No, they don't.
And 67% of schools in Illinois, the school district has to pay for this and make this happen. And also they had to put in place the database that we've talked about that collects data, 400 data points on your child. They had to expand the database to go from preschool all the way through to age 20 in the school district.
Why do preschool kids need these computers?
Because Arnie Duncan's vision is that you will start tracking your child at preschool. In fact, if you're in public aid, at age 24 hours old. And they will track your child. They're going to put into the computer all the behavioral attributes, what public aid they have and have not received, their test scores, their behavioral, their behavior in class.
I thought this is about education.
No, it's about data. The people who created Common Core all work for big data. You have David Coleman, the so-called architect. He worked for the lobbying firm McKinney & Company, which coined the phrase big data. You have Bill Gates, who paid for all of this from Microsoft Computer. And the list goes on and on and on.
Is Bill Gates going to make some money on this? Are these Microsoft computers? Are these iPads?
Sure. He's created a ton of education, high-tech company spin-offs that are coincidentally tailored exactly to fit the needs of what these schools need to comply with this vision of Common Core. Common Core is really the name of the standards.
Is Bill Gates supporting Common Core?
Oh, he paid for it.
Well,
I won't say he paid
He's
for
interested in methods, not results, because he's a clever enough businessman and made a lot of money out of computers.
He gave a grant.
Which is just fine, but it doesn't mean that he should be making the decision. Beware of somebody that's got a lot of money and shove it off in the wrong direction.
He put the grant money out there for the council that created the Common Core standards. He also, every step of the way, has put grants out there to non-for-profits or actually formed companies to tackle all the moving pieces of what we're calling Common Core. But was, again, I'm going to say again, is really the fundamental transformation of American education. It's not just the standards, it's the database. It's the testing.
The database is like Big Brother.
Yes.
It can track your religious beliefs,
That's
correct?
right.
What else? Your political beliefs?
Right. And in concert with that, they loosened FERPA. FERPA is the law that protects student data and defined what can be collected and considered student data. Well, they've just blown that thing open. Now they can collect eye scans, fingerprints, religious affiliations. They can collect just about anything. Now,
this is regimentation down to the kindergarten.
This almost sounds like microchips that we're embracing under the auspices of better education for our children.
It's a brave new world. It's Ayn Rand's anthem. It's everything you can ever imagine. Of course, since they don't read literature, they won't be reading Anthem or A Brave New World. But if they did, they would know that the mentality, the philosophy of this change is to track and direct what they call human capital in the direction that benefits our country in the global marketplace.
It should be more like Obama. But they're doing regimentation, absent in all this talk about how this Common Core came about, what its purposes are. I haven't heard the word parents. The Supreme Court has ruled long ago that the parents are responsible for their children's education. That really should mean that the education that people get for their kids ought to be paid for, guided by the parents.
Right, but the problem is that now that they've tied Common Core to the money that parents would get in a voucher, there's a lot of people out there talking about, does that mean if you bring your Title I money to a private institution, since Common Core is attached to that, does that mean you can only use your voucher at a school that's complying with Common Core? This is one of many questions that people are asking about this controversial use of funding to guide what must happen with that money.
These people are really stupid if they think that they can trust the federal government.
Wow.
I'm from the federal government, I'm here to help you. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that bothered me about this is, our curriculum was used to be based, the school board and the community made the determination what's going to be best for our community, our kids. And to take it from the local level and leapfrog it all the way up to the federal level, how do you fight that?